Hello, fellow lightworkers and spiritual warriors. Welcome to the December 2023 edition of the 5D Messages from Mount Shasta. I am Dr. Christina Samesha, intuitive guide and author. I have been posting monthly podcasts of channeled messages from Mount Shasta, root chakra of the planet, to inspire and support fellow lightworkers as we shift into a higher state of consciousness and help the collective with this ascension process. Please sign up on my YouTube channel to receive my latest podcasts. I bet we are all wondering how on earth is it already December. 2023, numerological year number 7, was quite a year and is rapidly coming to a close. The number 7 signifies spirituality, evolution, analysis, and wisdom. I will be posting a separate podcast discussing our ascension evolution throughout 2023 and a look ahead into 2024, which is year number 8, the power year. Let's first take a look at what we collectively experienced in November and the insights I had before exploring what December has in store for us. The highlight of November was definitely the 11/11 portal, which did not quite turn out as we had anticipated. Many of us felt as though 11/11 would be one of the most powerful days of the year. It had the potential to exponentially shift us further along this ascension path. Towards the end of October, I had this great idea that this 11/11 portal would be a great time to host a live stream meditation event focused on assisting the collective shift into a higher state of consciousness. Seeing that I live at the root chakra of the planet, I wanted to do this for quite some time and was very optimistic that this could be the start of something quite significant. Although possibly grandiose, I had huge hopes that we could assist the planet in taking a giant leap forward by utilizing the energy of 11/11. Before the week of 11/11, I took a well-needed week vacation to Sedona, which had been calling me for several years now. I had not left Mount Shasta or taken a vacation for well over a year, and was definitely needing the time off. This past year, I had felt as though I was running a marathon with all the projects that I was involved in. I know I was juggling a lot, but I had difficulty resting until my last project, this design project, was done, which was happening shortly. The visit to Sedona was quite amazing. I was able to visit the 4 main vortex sites and have time to finally fully relax. I realized that I needed to really slow down when I returned home. Before returning home, I visited my late mother's siblings, where I was blindsided by some unfortunate news involving finances. Because I was expecting a guest from out of town, in addition to preparing for the 11/11 event, I decided to just deal with this news later on, as I had so many questions. When I returned home, as I was preparing my loft for my friend's visit, I somehow slid halfway down the stairs, but managed to grab onto the handrail to stop my fall, which significantly injured my right shoulder. Although I was in severe pain, I just needed to keep on going. Despite all that, the days leading up to 11/11 were feeling so amazing, and I was so excited about my event. However, on the 9th, I came across a clip from another intuitive about an announcement made by the dark forces regarding turning on a specific frequency-emitting device to recreate the aurora borealis in order to quote-unquote study it from 11/11 through the 13th. I apologize for being cryptic, but I do not want this podcast to be taken down. Many of us know what device I am referring to. It seemed very interesting that the so-called research project was scheduled to be studied on Saturday until Monday. This frequency device has been speculated to impact our mood, the weather, etc. After hearing this news, I was determined not to let this interfere with the 11/11 meditation. I had even forgotten all about it with all the preparation I was doing, in addition to having a friend visit me here from Chicago. On the 10th, my friend and I went up to Bunny Flat on Mount Shasta to do a test run of the event, including the technological component, and everything was going quite smoothly. We had a great time hiking afterwards and were super excited about 11/11. When I woke up from a strange dream that morning, the energy was not feeling quite the same, which was a stark contrast to what I experienced last year on 11/11. I was feeling quite off, and so was my friend. This reminded me of last year's Lionsgate, where I was also so excited about the coming of the 8/8 portal and had the whole day planned. However, when I awoke on 8/8, I felt such extreme sadness. I could not do anything the whole day. Many of my friends felt this way as well. One in particular pointed out that he noticed a lot of information regarding 8/8 posted on mainstream media, just as we experienced this year about 11/11, and felt as though the dark forces were determined to hijack this day. As we headed towards the mountain on 11/11, I could not believe all the chemtrails in the sky, but was too preoccupied with this meditation event to wrap my brain around the significance of all this. As we were setting up, I was getting so frustrated that many of my friends who said they would meet me up here just didn't arrive. Right before we were going live at 11:11 a.m., we kept experiencing technical difficulties. Interestingly enough, I never even saw the time of 11:11 on my phone, which also seems significant as I always seem to see it. I conducted the meditation, but afterwards continued to feel very frustrated with what just transpired. But then it hit me. I bet everyone was thrown off this morning, and this frequency may have something to do with it. In the days that followed, I heard from so many that they encountered crazy situations the morning of 11/11 and momentarily forgot all about the meditation. They also reported feeling sadness for the week that followed. I too was in a very low vibrational state for the week after 11/11 and finally had a chance to examine the news regarding the financial situation with my family, as well as my severely injured right shoulder. Seeing that I had an injury to the right, the masculine side, arm and shoulder, which represented doing and achieving, I surmised that this was a sign that I was overworking and being way off balance, which was a pattern I seemed to be replaying throughout my life, which I know is in part fueled by subconscious fear and victim consciousness. I also became aware of another layer of ancestral trauma regarding money, abandonment, etc., which may be why this issue with my family was presenting itself. All of this was triggering my childhood feelings of not being taken care of. Although I have worked on these patterns before, there was obviously still more work to do, something I will definitely work on clearing before we enter the 12/12 portal this month. What I was experiencing is also symbolic of a collective trauma that we're all facing right now. We know the systems we have been living in, including the financial system, is collapsing and has never really been a safe place anyway. And we need to continue working on trusting more than ever that we will be okay, which has been quite challenging. As I am writing this, I looked over at my cat, who is so peacefully sleeping near me without a care in the world. As I reach out to pet him, I so desire to feel the safe and secure in the world. Definitely something to aspire to. Additionally, as a collective, we have also become way off balance, too heavily operating in the masculine. And this too is hopefully shifting. I guess the goal is to find balance in life. On one hand, it's good to be driven, ambitious, and have a purpose, but not if it's fueled by fear. I also pondered if the mishap of 11/11 were a result of the frequency emitted by the dark forces, or did the energy of 11/11 just set in motion more for us to clear? Or was it a little bit of both? I remembered the dream that I had the morning of 11/11. I was surrounded by men with guns who were trying to kill me. I was concerned but not necessarily afraid. Right before waking up, all but one of the men turned their guns on this one particular man and said to me that we were here to actually help you all along. There is nothing to fear, he said. We have all of this under control. The situation had me revisit an idea that I've had from time to time. Keeping in mind that the spiritual world, there is no good or bad per se. The dark forces may not be quote unquote bad, but are just playing the roles within the shift. They just might be part of this plan to wake us up from our collective cognitive dissonance. Not that I am condoning their behavior by any means, but their actions are becoming so blatantly destructive, and maybe it's by design to finally shake us up so much that we finally take control and ownership of our planet, releasing this victim consciousness that keeps our systems in place. As we enter out of the age of Pisces, which is in part looking outside of ourselves for guidance, we are stepping into the age of Aquarius, which is about taking personal responsibility over our lives. We are releasing the notion that someone is going to save us because ultimately we need to take care of ourselves. Another question I have regarding this ascension process is that if we are here on this planet to grow through our experiences, which includes adversity, is it supposed to remain a planet that is in balance of light and dark? I do believe, however, that things have become definitely out of balance, and that there just might be more dark than light, which is why so many of us are working so hard to rectify this. But in the end, our goal may not necessarily be to eradicate all of the dark. Something to ponder. Nonetheless, I will be re-recording the 11/11 meditation and posting it on social media soon. I hope that you enjoy it once I do. So now on to examining the energies of December. December is definitely starting out on a milder note. There is a sense of pause and examination on how far we've progressed on our ascension journey this year. But we will likely only have a moment to reflect because we have some forward momentum headed our way. As we wrap up the spiritual year number 7, it isn't surprising that we had a huge global event during this last eclipse season, which also coincided when all of our outer planets, which affects the collective, were in retrograde. Some have already stationed direct, but in December, 3 more will be following suit. By the end of the month, we will be full steam ahead into 2024, which seems to be appropriate with what is in store for us. As I mentioned, I'll be doing a separate podcast on the energies of 2024 later on this month. Additionally, we have many planets this month conjunct to the galactic center, which will also give us additional support and downloads, including the Sun in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the philosopher and the idealist. This information will hopefully give us more guidance as to the philosophical foundation of this new Earth that we are creating. On December 6th, Neptune will be stationing direct, which may cause us to feel a bit wobbly and out of sorts. As we integrate this new energy and light codes, then on December 12th, we not only have the 12/12 portal, which symbolizes powerful endings, but this year it falls on a new moon. But Mercury goes into retrograde at the same time. This is going to be quite an interesting day. This year it definitely felt as though the portals starting on 7/7 until this 12/12 portal have been significantly more powerful than in previous years. It is significant that on 12/12, which represents an ending, falls on the new moon and a retrograde. Fortunately, this retrograde may be pretty gentle as it's conjunct the galactic center, which again may be providing us with some important messages as we continue on our ascension journey. Then on December 26th, Chiron, the wounded healer, stations direct, which also falls on the Cancer full moon, allowing us to release parts of our wounds that we haven't healed. We have been working with Chiron in Aries all year, which may be significant seeing that we are now working with the nodes of fate in Aries and Libra. We have been working through our core wounds to possibly prepare us for action next year, which, as I mentioned before, is number 8, the power year. On the 29th, Jupiter will be stationing direct, and it's in Taurus, wrapping up the Taurus and Scorpio nodes. And then shortly thereafter, Mercury will station direct. We will start off the new year with only one planet in retrograde, Uranus, but it will station direct by the end of January. Keep in mind that 2024, year number 8, is not only the power number, but it's the karmic number, as it's ruled by Saturn. I think a lot will continue transpiring in 2024. So make sure to check out my 2023 wrap-up and a look ahead into 2024. Please also look out for the meditation I will be posting in the next few days. So let's keep shining the light and focusing on creating a peaceful planet. We are moving onward and upward. If you would like to know more, please follow me on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. You can also visit my website, Christina Psyd, that's Christina with a CH, PSYD, for more information regarding this collective evolution we are experiencing, as well as information regarding my book, The Journey of Discovering Inner Peace, which has many valuable tools that can be helpful in navigating this challenging yet amazing time. I am so excited to be sharing another amazing month with all of you, sending all of you lots of love and light from the heart of Mount Shasta.